Most people have been taught that self-care means finding comfort. Take a break, reward yourself, escape the pressure for a while. So you do exactly that. You spend hours scrolling through social media, binge watch another series, order your favorite comfort food, or tell yourself, you'll start tomorrow. For a little while, it feels good. The stress fades, the pressure disappears. But when the next day arrives, nothing has really changed. You're still exhausted, still overwhelmed, still wondering why you don't feel like the person you know you could become. That's because comfort and self-care are not the same thing. Comfort can silence discomfort for a moment, but it cannot create lasting strength. It's like taking a painkiller. The pain becomes quieter, yet the real problem remains untouched. Deep inside, you've probably felt this yourself. After every distraction, every reward, every shortcut, there's still an empty space that comfort never seems to fill. Oh, what if we've misunderstood self-care all along? The Stoics believed something completely different. To them, caring for yourself was never about avoiding discomfort. It was about becoming strong enough to face it. They didn't see self-love as endless relaxation or constant validation. They saw it as the result of discipline, wisdom, and self-respect. Ask yourself this. Every time you avoid a difficult conversation, every time you hit the snooze button instead of getting up, every time you choose temporary distraction over meaningful action, are you truly taking care of yourself? Or are you slowly becoming someone your future self won't recognize? History gives us remarkable examples. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during times of war and uncertainty. Epictetus endured slavery before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers. Seneca experienced political exile and constant hardship. None of them built peaceful lives by running toward comfort. They became resilient because they trained their minds to remain steady when life became unpredictable. Their greatest strength wasn't physical power or perfect circumstances. It was the daily habits they practiced, small actions repeated consistently, until discipline became part of who they were. In today's video, you'll discover 5 Stoic habits that completely redefine self-care. These aren't trendy routines or motivational cliches. They're timeless practices designed to strengthen your mind, build unshakable confidence, and develop the kind of self-respect that no outside opinion can take away. By the end of this video, you'll understand why true confidence isn't built through comfort, it's built through character. And if you're ready to stop escaping your life and start transforming it, write unstoppable in the comments below. Make it your commitment to yourself, because what you're about to learn isn't simply ancient philosophy. It's a practical blueprint for becoming someone who remains calm under pressure, stands firm during adversity, and earns self-love through consistent action rather than empty words. Let's begin. Before we explore the 5 habits, we first need to understand what the Stoics actually meant by self-care, because their definition is completely different from the one most people believe today. Epictetus, who began his life as a slave before becoming one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "No, man is free who is not master of himself." Think about those words for a moment. He didn't say the happiest person is free. He didn't say the wealthiest person is free. He said the person who masters their own mind is truly free. For the Stoics, self-care meant self-mastery. It meant taking responsibility for your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions instead of allowing circumstances to control them. It meant developing the ability to face difficulties without letting them define you. Modern culture often tells us to be gentle with ourselves, and there is certainly value in kindness and compassion. But the Stoics would ask a more uncomfortable question. Are you showing yourself compassion? Or are you making excuses? Are you protecting your peace or avoiding your potential? Real self-love isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it's waking up early when you'd rather stay in bed. Sometimes it's having the difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Sometimes it's choosing discipline over instant gratification because you respect the person you're becoming. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly when he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Those words weren't about perfection. They were about action. That's the mindset we're embracing today. Not abandoning self-compassion, but raising its standard. Loving yourself enough to reject weakness. Loving yourself enough to choose growth over comfort. Loving yourself enough to become someone you can genuinely admire. With that foundation in place, let's begin with the first Stoic habit that can transform your life from the inside out. Name those challenges before they happen. Then ask yourself one final question. How will I respond with wisdom, patience, and courage? Don't answer with wishful thinking. Decide in advance. This isn't optimism. It's preparation. It's mentally rehearsing the person you choose to become. And that's where everything begins to change. When you've already chosen your response, life loses its ability to surprise you. You're no longer reacting to every situation that comes your way. Instead, You're responding from a place of intention. Think about it. Someone cuts you off in traffic, that a coworker criticizes you unfairly. A plan you've worked hard on suddenly falls apart. Most people let the moment decide who they become. They react with anger, frustration, or self-doubt. You don't have to, because you've already made the decision before the challenge ever arrived. That's what real preparation looks like, and that is genuine self-care. Not because you're avoiding life's difficulties, but because you're training yourself to meet them with strength. An athlete doesn't wait until competition day to build endurance. They train every single day, so that when the pressure comes, their body already knows what to do. Your mind deserves that same level of discipline. Epictetus expressed this idea perfectly. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Morning self-examination is where that promise begins. It's the quiet moment where you decide who you're going to be before the world has a chance to influence you. Tomorrow morning, try it for yourself. Point 10, quiet minutes. Point 3, honest questions. Point 1, intentional decision. You may be surprised how different your entire day feels. Now let's move to the second Stoic habit, a practice that may sound uncomfortable at first, but has the power to transform your resilience more than almost anything else. It's called voluntary discomfort. Most people spend their lives trying to eliminate discomfort. The Stoics deliberately welcomed small amounts of it. Seneca, despite being one of the wealthiest men in ancient Rome, would occasionally sleep on the floor, wear simple clothing, and eat the plainest meals imaginable. Not because he had no other choice, because he wanted to remind himself that comfort was a privilege, not a necessity. That he once advised setting aside days to live with very little while asking yourself one simple question: is this really the thing I was afraid of? That question changes everything, because fear grows strongest in imagination. The longer we avoid discomfort, the larger it becomes in our minds. We avoid difficult conversations. We postpone exercising. That we stay in situations that make us unhappy because change feels uncertain. Little by little, comfort becomes a prison. Without realizing it, we begin believing that everything must feel easy before we can move forward. But strength is never built inside comfort, that it's built the moment you willingly step beyond it. That's the purpose of voluntary discomfort. You intentionally choose small challenges that teach your mind not to panic when life becomes difficult. Maybe it's taking a cold shower, skipping unnecessary luxuries for a day, getting out of bed before sunrise, finishing the workout you wanted to quit, making the phone call you've been avoiding for weeks. The challenge itself isn't what matters. What matters is proving to yourself that discomfort doesn't control you. Every time you choose difficulty instead of avoiding it, your confidence grows. You stop seeing hardship as punishment. You begin seeing it as training. And eventually, when life presents challenges you didn't choose, which it inevitably will, you'll notice something remarkable. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you'll quietly tell yourself, "I've prepared for moments like this." That's real resilience. Not pretending life is easy, not hoping problems disappear, but becoming the kind of person who stays steady no matter what arrives. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Voluntary discomfort is how those words become reality. So start small. Choose one challenge this week that stretches you beyond your comfort zone. Do it willingly. Notice what happens afterward. You'll discover that you aren't weaker than you imagined. You're far stronger than you've allowed yourself to believe. That's how resilience is built. That's how self-respect grows. And that's how ordinary people become mentally unshakable. Now let's explore the third Stoic habit. One that may be the greatest challenge of all in today's world. That it's the habit of choosing mindful discipline over instant gratification. Modern life is constantly competing for your attention. Every notification, every advertisement, every endless scroll is carefully designed to pull you away from what truly matters. Point 1 click becomes 10.10 minutes become an hour. An hour quietly disappears into activities that leave you feeling empty instead of fulfilled. The Stoics believed this was another form of slavery. Not slavery to another person, but slavery to your own impulses. Epictetus taught that no one is truly free unless they are able to govern themselves. If every craving controls your decisions, if every distraction steals your attention, if every impulse determines your next action, then who is really in control? Mindful discipline is the practice of reclaiming that control. It's learning to pause before reacting. To create space between the urge and the decision. Imagine you're deeply focused on important work. Suddenly your phone vibrates. Most people reach for it without thinking. The action is automatic. But someone practicing Stoic discipline notices the impulse before acting. They ask themselves, "Will this move me closer to the life I want?" Or is my brain simply chasing another quick reward? That brief pause may only last a few seconds, but inside those few seconds lies something priceless: freedom. Seneca once observed, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." He wasn't speaking only about wealth. He was describing desire itself. The person who cannot resist every craving will never feel satisfied, no matter how much they have. True wealth begins the moment you become stronger than your impulses. Without self-control, lasting success is impossible. Every meaningful achievement, whether it's better health, stronger relationships, financial freedom, or inner peace, requires the ability to choose what matters most over what feels good right now. The good news is that self-discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. Here's a simple way to begin. Every single day, intentionally delay one small pleasure. Leave your phone untouched during the first hour after waking. Finish your most important task before opening social media. Wait a few extra minutes before giving in to an unnecessary craving. The action itself isn't the point. The decision is. Each time you choose long-term purpose over immediate comfort, you're sending yourself a powerful message. I am stronger than my impulses. That message slowly transforms your identity. You begin trusting yourself because you consistently honor the promises you make to yourself. And self-trust is one of the greatest forms of self-respect you'll ever develop. This is real self-care, not escaping your emotions, not distracting yourself from discomfort, but investing in the person you're becoming. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. Whenever he struggled to rise from bed, he reminded himself that he wasn't created simply to seek comfort. He was created to fulfill his purpose, that he didn't wait until he felt motivated. He acted first and allowed discipline to create motivation afterward. That's what freedom looks like. The freedom to choose your actions instead of allowing your emotions to choose them for you. Now let's move to the fourth Stoic habit, a practice that can transform your life almost immediately. It's called rational self-talk. Whether you realize it or not, you're having a conversation with yourself every single day. That inner voice quietly shapes your confidence, your courage, your resilience, and ultimately the direction of your life. The problem is that for many people, that voice has become their harshest critic. One mistake instantly becomes, "I'm not good enough." One failure becomes, "I always ruin everything." One setback becomes, "Nothing ever works out for me." Think about that for a moment. Would you ever speak to someone you genuinely care about that way? Probably not. Yet many people repeat those words to themselves every single day. The Stoics recognize that events themselves don't create suffering, that it's the meaning we attach to those events that determines how we feel. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that true power isn't found in controlling circumstances, that it's found in controlling your own mind. That's the heart of rational self-talk, not pretending everything is perfect. Not covering pain with empty affirmations, but replacing emotional exaggeration with honest perspective. The next time something goes wrong, pause before accepting the first story your mind creates. Listen carefully. What are you telling yourself? Is it actually true? Or is your mind exaggerating one difficult moment into a permanent identity? One mistake doesn't make you a failure. One rejection doesn't define your future. One obstacle doesn't erase your potential. Instead of saying, "Everything is falling apart," ask yourself, "What lesson is this experience trying to teach me?" Instead of saying, "I'll never succeed," ask, "What's the next step that's within my control?" Those small changes completely transform the way you experience adversity. Epictetus taught that what truly matters isn't what happens to us, but how we respond. And every response begins with a thought. When you learn to challenge destructive thinking instead of automatically believing it, you become your own greatest source of strength. Not because life becomes easier, but because your mind becomes steadier. Practice noticing your inner dialogue today. Whenever it becomes cruel, interrupt it. Whenever it becomes irrational, replace it with truth, not comfortable truth, honest truth. That's how confidence is built. That's how self-respect becomes unshakable. And finally, we arrive at the fifth Stoic habit, the one that gives meaning to everything that came before. Live for something bigger than yourself. Discipline matters, self-mastery matters, personal growth matters, but none of those things reach their highest purpose if they begin and end with you. The Stoics believed every human being is part of something far greater than themselves. Marcus Aurelius compared society to a living organism. Just as a single bee cannot thrive without the hive, no individual can experience lasting fulfillment while living only for themselves. At first, that idea may seem surprising. After all, isn't this video about self-care? Yes. And that's exactly why contribution matters. Because the deepest form of self-care isn't constant self-focus, that it's discovering that your life has value beyond your own comfort. Real fulfillment grows when your actions improve someone else's life, whether it's supporting your family, encouraging a struggling friend, teaching what you've learned, volunteering your time, or simply showing kindness when no one expects it. Every act of contribution reminds you that your existence matters. Seneca observed that the person who lives only for themselves will never experience lasting happiness. Purpose is found in service, not because you lose yourself, but because you finally discover your highest self. So challenge yourself this week. Do something meaningful for another person without expecting recognition. Offer your time, share your knowledge, encourage someone who needs hope. Help simply because you can. You may think you're changing someone else's day. In reality, you're changing yourself, because every act of contribution quietly reinforces one powerful belief: I have something valuable to give. That belief creates confidence no compliment can provide. It builds self-respect that no criticism can destroy. Eventually, you stop measuring your worth by likes, praise, or approval. Your confidence comes from your character. Your purpose comes from your actions. And your peace comes from knowing you're living according to your values. This is what becoming unstoppable truly means. Not living without challenges, but becoming someone who remains steady through every challenge. The Stoics taught that the good life is built through virtue, not through comfort, not through luck, but through daily choices rooted in wisdom, courage, discipline, justice, and compassion. So, before you leave today, ask yourself one question: who will I become if I practice these habits every single day? Then begin. Point 1 decision, point 1 habit, point 1 disciplined action at a time. If you're committed to becoming stronger than your excuses, write "I am becoming unstoppable" in the comments below. Let those words become more than a comment. Let them become a promise to yourself. And if this video challenged the way you think, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future lessons that will help you build lasting discipline, resilience, and inner peace. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for choosing growth over comfort. Now step into the world and prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. Stay disciplined, stay humble, and keep walking the Stoic path.